It all started on a quiet Tuesday morning, the kind that makes you feel like life might just remain gentle forever. The golden sunlight trickled through the lace curtains, casting shadows on the old photographs lining the mantel. They weren't just frames. They were time machines, preserving decades of love, struggle, and moments that made life worth living. Margaret Adams, a 76-year-old widow with silver hair and eyes full of history, sat in her favorite floral armchair. She clutched a warm cup of chamomile tea, breathing in not just the scent but the comfort of home, her fortress, her sanctuary, her final link to a world that once held her entire heart. But peace is fragile. And the phone rang. There's a tone that family uses when something is terribly wrong, and Jenna, her only daughter, spoke in that exact voice. "Mom, can you come over? It's important." There was a stiffness there, the kind that wraps around you like a cold fog you can't shake. Margaret, used to weathering storms of all kinds, put on her sweater, the one Harold had loved, and walked to her daughter's home, unaware that this short journey would pull the ground from under her feet. Jenna's house was everything Margaret's wasn't. Modern. Sleek. Sterile. Her son-in-law Greg stood like a stranger in his own home, tapping his foot nervously. Jenna didn't hug her. No warmth. Just words, sharp and unrelenting. "We're in trouble, Mom. Financial trouble. Greg's business tanked. We're on the verge of losing everything." Margaret's face softened with maternal concern. "Oh sweetheart, I'm so sorry. How can I help?" Jenna looked her in the eyes, and that's when the knife twisted. "We need you to sell your house. We've already looked at a lovely nursing facility. You'll be well taken care of." The world tilted. That house wasn't just a building. It was her legacy. It held the echo of Harold's laughter, the ghost of baby footsteps, the creaking floorboards that once sang lullabies. Margaret's hands trembled. "Sell my house." Greg jumped in. "You'd really be helping the family. And honestly, it's time." But whose time was it? Certainly not hers. That night, she wandered the halls of her house, trailing her fingers across the wallpaper they'd picked out together. Every crack was a memory. Every photo on the wall, a heartbeat. Margaret stood in the middle of the living room, her home whispering to her, pleading not to be abandoned. But Jenna's calls became more frequent. Greg brought over brochures. Even a realtor visited, uninvited, poking through her closets like a vulture. Margaret didn't cry. Not in front of them. But every night, in the silence of her room, her heart cracked a little more. She tried to write Harold a letter in her journal. "I'm sorry, my love. I never thought our home would be for sale like an old coat." And then, she gave in. She didn't fight. She didn't scream. She just packed, slowly, painfully. Folding each blouse like it was a goodbye letter. When moving day came, she stood on the porch, watching the truck pull away with her furniture. It felt like her soul was inside those boxes. As she turned the key in the lock for the last time, a voice called out. "Mrs. Adams." It was Daniel. The boy next door. No, now a grown man, in his 30s, wearing scrubs from his shift at the hospital. He used to spend afternoons on her porch, devouring her cookies and begging for bedtime stories when his parents were fighting inside. He looked stunned. "You're moving?" "Yes, dear," she whispered. "They've found a place for me. But this house, it's your life." She nodded, the lump in her throat too big to swallow. "And now, it's someone else's." The nursing home was nothing like home. It smelled of bleach and despair. Her room had no sunlight, no warmth. Her days were filled with pills and silent television. No one came to visit. She stopped answering Jenna's calls. Her voice was a reminder of everything she'd lost. Then one morning, a letter arrived. Not a bill. Not a pamphlet. A real letter. Handwritten. Dear Mrs. Adams. You probably don't remember everything, but I do. I'm Daniel, from next door. Your home, it was my safe place. You showed me what kindness looked like when my world was falling apart. Your house wasn't just a home. It was hope. I want to return that gift. I bought your house. But not to live in it. To give it back to you. Please come home. With gratitude and love, Daniel. Margaret clutched the letter like a lifeline. Tears streamed down her face. She hadn't felt so alive in months. Daniel arrived with a nurse, a bouquet of wildflowers, and that same boyish smile. Let's bring you home, he said. When she stepped inside her house again, it was like walking into a dream. The furniture was hers. The curtains. The scent of cinnamon from the diffuser Daniel had borrowed from his mother to make it feel familiar. How did you, she began. I found the auction house. Tracked every piece. Even your bookshelf. The neighbors helped. Your life belongs here, Mrs. Adams. Not in some facility. Margaret touched the wall. It felt like hugging Harold again. That Sunday, she invited the neighborhood over for tea. Children played on the porch. Daniel brought fresh scones. And for the first time in months, she laughed. Not just politely, but a full, rich laugh that shook the sadness out of her chest. Jenna arrived, holding her son's hand. Her face was flushed with shame. Mom, I was wrong. I thought I was helping. But I see now, I was taking everything that mattered from you. I'm sorry. Margaret looked at her daughter, then gently took her hand. We all make mistakes, Jenna. But we must remember, home isn't just shelter. It's where your soul lives. She kissed her grandson on the head and pulled him onto her lap. He snuggled in just like Jenna used to. Daniel stayed for hours. He didn't want to leave. You changed my life, Mrs. Adams. I just returned the favor. You gave me more than that, Daniel, she said. You reminded me that love never goes unnoticed. And that kindness, even years old, always comes back. Final reflections. Margaret's journey is one that many seniors silently endure, the slow erasure of identity in the name of practicality. But her story is not about what was taken. It's about what was returned. Sometimes, the most powerful kindness doesn't come from family, it comes from those who saw you, who were changed by you, and never forgot. In a world that moves too fast, where generations forget to look back, one young man stopped, and changed everything. Because sometimes, it takes a child you once saved, to save you back.